Hello and welcome to episode 71, where I've had a bit of a frustrating time with a USB mic, and it really supports my particular view that they're just not the thing to record with. Now, I use Cubase, and after 15 minutes, very frustrating experience, I've given up trying to make this microphone here work on Cubase on the computer in the office. All I wanted to do was a quick recording, and it frustrated me so much that I've given up. And then I thought about it, so I've brought it through here into the studio and plugged it up into a Mac. Now, the PC just would not accept the fact that this device was a microphone. It was just using the driver that was actually supplied with it when I bought it, and also the generic driver that Windows loads up when it has it plugged in. It just doesn't see it as a sound card, it doesn't see it as a microphone, and there is no specific sort of clever driver like you would get with many other audio products. So it didn't work, and I gave up. Brought it through here into the studio with a Mac, and fired up Cubase on this computer, plugged in this microphone, and it works. The Mac recognises it as a USB audio device. This particular microphone has an audio gain on it, which a lot of USB mics don't have, but this one's got it. So the audio from the microphone is going into Cubase, which is what I'm actually recording this on at the moment. And even the headphone output that's on this microphone works. Cubase is sending back into the mic the audio that's being recorded. Now, the only slightly weird thing that's gone on is that there is not enough audio output coming out of it to hardly tickle the meters. So I've just done the little trick that I usually do in Cubase when I've got a bit of a low input, and I've popped the compressor on the input. Now, I don't routinely compress on an input ever. I always do it afterwards. But one little neat trick is that if you actually sort of turn the compression off, so it's actually not doing anything, then you can use the make-up gain feature in the compressor to give you a little bit more boost. And that's what I've done to get usable levels on the meters in Cubase here. The microphone's quite smart. It's got a nice little blue LED on the front. And by rights, it should be a really nice little microphone for people to use. But it's just so frustrating to try and use these things. It's set up on a stand right next door to the usual Shure SM7B, which is what you're listening to me on now. So I'm going to switch over to the USB mic now. So now from this point onwards, yeah, we can hear what this USB mic sounds like. It's got a few little problems. It's incredibly microphonic. The even tiny little movements of the mic itself make a noise. And if you touch the cable, that'll work. I'll show you what I mean. If I just touch the microphone here, touch the stand, or even touch the cable, it's quite loud. Now, I mean, you can actually get hold of the I'll go back to the SM7B. You can sort of switch to the SM7B, and if you move the SM7B a little bit, you don't get a huge amount of noise from the actual microphone itself. So it's a pretty insensitive microphone to physical touch. Going back to this USB microphone, well, that's not the case. If I wanted to adjust the volume knob, so I'm just doing that, or adjust the knob that controls the speaker volume, it's really quite nice to be able to plug a pair of headphones into a microphone. So if I do it, I'll switch across to the SM7B because it's going to make horrible noise. Hang on a minute. Yep. Back to the USB microphone. So I'm now getting the audio from this mic through these headphones. It's a bit loud, so if I turn it down, see the problem? That's just not very good. I mean, all it really means is, I guess, that the little electric unit that's in there, so the actual mic element, is just not isolated very well from the body of the mic. So this actually looks really nice. I mean, it's it's got this nice colour. It's got the LED on the front that lets you know it's powered. It's got a champagne coloured grille. It also picks up more of the fan noise from my Blackmagic recorder that I always go on about. I'll shut up and let you listen. Let's try the same thing with the SM7B. So now we're on the SM7B, same sort of distance. I'll shut up on this one and see if you can hear the difference in the fan noise capture. It's not particularly friendly, this microphone. It's a shame because there is a use for these sort of things, and luckily lots of USB microphones are actually better than this, and certainly most of them from the bigger manufacturers have now got decent drivers so that you can use them on Windows and on a Mac. It's just very annoying that this particular microphone is of a vintage where the drivers were just not developed properly. I mean, I got it as a sample from a Chinese company who wanted me to buy lots of these to sell. And I thought about it until I discovered the problems with PCs. And they were unable to develop a driver that worked properly. Certainly the one that was supplied with it was incapable of sending anything back to the headphone socket, which was really annoying. But of course the Mac, just you plug it in and it sort of works. It worked out it was an audio device, and that would let me use it. I mean, I just don't want to use this microphone because I don't really need a headphone output on the microphone. I don't really need to use this in preference to anything else I've got. So I'm very sceptical about USB mics. And of course the other thing is, what I'm doing here at the moment, I'm having to record this mic on Cubase on this Mac computer. I've then got to take the file from the computer. I've got to take the card from the Blackmagic recorder that's got the pictures, and it's got the embedded audio from this microphone for sure. And it's a lot of faffing about, isn't it? I can't record two microphones at the same time. So Cubase here cannot talk to this microphone or the Shure at the same time. That's daft. So USB mics, from my perspective, are only good if you're ever going to only want one. And the minute you want to do an interview with two people, or just record in stereo, USB mics, in my humble opinion, just don't cut the mustard. An ordinary, even a modest ordinary interface with two XLR sockets, 48 volt phantom power, which is not expensive anymore, is so much more versatile than something that is just one channel. And even then, it's a gamble whether your computer at home is going to work with it. I think that's largely gone from certainly the big brands. So if you buy any of the sort of Shures, Sennheisers, Audio-Technicas, they all do USB microphones now, and realistically they always work. Nobody actually goes on internet forums and complains that they've bought a microphone that doesn't work anymore, which is not the case with the vintage of this one. So still be careful. You don't have to be quite so careful, but the real killer is one microphone. You do hear tales of people who actually manage to get their computer to talk to two at the same time. I don't know how they do that. I've never managed it. I'm sure there are people who are much cleverer than me who know how to do it. But sadly, most people just never make that work. It's just a one microphone system. Bit sad. Oh, I touched the mic then. It's just all I did was touch this. That's a rotten mic, isn't it? You can't do that. Anyway, see you on another video very shortly, no doubt. Look after yourselves. Take care.